All right. I'm sitting there waiting for somebody to start. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Woo, what a crowd on a Monday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. Come on in, come on in. There's seats inside. Please come on in. I am Sadiqa Reynolds, and I am the president and CEO of the Louisville Urban League, and I am so excited to be here today with our friends from Norton. This is really an amazing day, and I have had the hardest time keeping this secret. So I'm so very, very thankful to finally be here to let the cat out of the bag. I want you all to know that we are here building. You see, we are turning dirt. Everybody says turning dirt, so that's the thing to say. As you know, we are standing now on 24 acres of land where the old tobacco manufacturing plant used to be. This land has been vacant for quite some time, and the Urban League won the opportunity to develop this into a sports and learning complex. And you know what? I won't say anything else except to say this. I have known Russ Cox for I think about 4 years. We served on a board together, and he was always very, very supportive in those board meetings. As you can imagine, I could push back a little sometimes, and he was always completely supportive. And it is really a pleasure to see someone put their money where their mouth is, walk the walk, talk the talk. And it is very validating to feel like, in fact, I am a very, very good judge of character. And so with that, I will just, there are lots of people that I will thank, and I'll come back up and do that later. But for now, I just want to say thank you to Norton Healthcare. Thank you to my friend Russ Cox for your leadership, for your vision, for your faith in me, your faith in this community. And with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Cox. Thank you all.
Wow, what a day. How about another round of applause for work happening over there, huh? Somebody asked me if I wanted them to stop while we were speaking, and no, absolutely keep working. Sadiqa, thank you so much for your kind words. To say that Sadiqa can be a little bit pushy at board meetings, I think we all know exactly what that means. I'd like to introduce some folks here today that are very important to Norton Healthcare right off the bat. The chair of our board of trustees, Gary Stewart, is here with us today. The chair-elect of our board, Edie Nixon, is with us here today. Current board member and a past chair, Maria Hampton, is with us here today. And someday to be a chair, and current board member Sue Davis is here with us today. So let me just be clear that this day does not happen without our board of trustees pushing us to do the right thing. You know, every day at Norton Healthcare, we come to work and we work really hard to make good decisions. And we work really hard to make decisions that align with our mission, vision, and values. And that's not always easy. Just to be succinct with you, our mission is to provide quality care to everyone we serve. And that's important. It's to all those we serve, not just some of those we serve. Our vision, just succinctly, is to be strong, be preferred, and set the standard for caring. This is setting the standard. Our values speak very specifically to respect for every individual and demonstrating stewardship. We think that's what we're doing too. We constantly evaluate ourselves. Our board evaluates us on, are we walking that walk? Are we talking that talk? We believe the investment that we're making today, and by the way, I said investment. I didn't say donation. Donation, I'm going to take her on the road with me. A donation's where you leave money and go away. We're not going away. We're investing. We're going to be part of the fiber of this place. Trust me. It's an investment. Thank you, Jim. We believe that it perfectly aligns with our mission, vision, and values. And to have a chance to be part of a revitalization and to be part of momentum of this track center is absolutely the right thing for us to do. Now, most of you know Norton Healthcare is a place you come when you're sick or injured. But hopefully after today, you'll know that we do that, but we also are a place that steps up and gets involved in an important community initiative like this one. I also want you to know that we're an organization that's committed to supporting every community initiative that helps the people of our community, so that everyone in our community has the opportunity to live their best life. That's so important. To that end, how great is it that we're at a brownfield that used to have a tobacco processing plant? Think about that, a tobacco processing plant, and now is going to be an area that is dedicated to the health and well-being of an entire community. That's worth a round of applause too. Now, you've gotten pretty good at applause, so I'm going to see how good you really are right now. I've rehearsed this line, and I want you to get ready for it. To that end, where now was a brownfield, where once stood a tobacco company, will now and heretofore be known as the home of the Norton Sports Health Athletics and Learning Complex. Okay, the mayor's got to be somewhere. Let's get on with this. So today, Norton Healthcare is committing $5 million to make this dream a reality. I should have told you to sit down, should I? That's the loudest one. The commitment has two components. One is a $3 million investment, and the second component is a $2 million challenge match investment. Our hope is that the match will not only challenge, but will encourage others, especially our corporate partners, to step up, be part of this story. Because it's a story that's going to redefine our community. It's going to establish a new day for hopes and dreams of every citizen in our community and everyone that comes to this place for all the events that are going to happen here. Carl tells me we've already got things booked. Jim Host is not going to sleep until the NCAA is all over the place. So think about the impact that this is going to have on our community when people say, that's a great place. Now, I'm certain I'm going to be asked why. What does a track have to do with a not-for-profit healthcare organization like Norton? And why are you putting that kind of money towards something like this? So I have 4 reasons I'm going to tell you. Promise to be brief. Number 1, it's the right thing to do, and it's way past time to do it. That's where our Board of Trustees starts and ends the decision-making process. Is it the right thing to do, and is it time to do it? If we can be a part of helping more of those right things to happen in the West End, it's the best investment Norton Healthcare will ever make. We want everyone to know that you can count on that big blue end, and I hope you know about that big blue end, to step up. And we're going to step up not just when you're sick or injured, but all the time. That's why. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2, we've got to improve medical access care for all. It has to happen. As hopefully you know, we're expanding medical care with the primary care practice at the new YMCA. And we absolutely intend to improve and provide access to care on this site right here as well. It's the great opportunity to connect early with the youth that will be competing here and get them on the right track. It was good. It was good. It was good. Think what she would do for 6. It's the best way we can get them on the right track, both physically and spiritually. That's why. Number 3, Norton Healthcare, we love transformation. It's been in our organizational DNA for over 130 years. The transformation from sick to well is one thing, but the transformation of the human spirit is something that's completely different and something that is so important and necessary. Transformation takes vision and it takes commitment, just like the vision and commitment that it took to make this place a reality. At Norton, I always stress this thing called great human interactions. I think it's the very, very basic lifeblood of what we do. If you can always have a great human interaction, things will always work out. Things will go the right way. This complex is a place that's going to be abundant in great human interactions. 10 years from now, or sooner, Sadiq was involved, it'll probably be sooner, we're going to look back and say that we all became better and we all became more of one community because of those great human interactions. That's why. Number 4, and finally, like so many of you sitting here today, I couldn't figure out a way to say no to Sadiqua. That's why. So, folks, it's happening. Look around. What you see out there soon will be families gathering here. Soon, equity, inclusion, and belonging will be synonymous with this complex. Soon, athletes will achieve the best version of themselves. And soon, we'll all remember that this day, we collectively got out that eraser and committed to each other to start rubbing out that red line. That's going to make us proud. And trust me, Norton Healthcare is honored and proud to be part of this. So I'm going to shut up and thank you for showing up. And Sadiqua, let's show them the rendering of what this wonderful place is going to look like.
I'm ready.
So, my first job was a teacher. The best way you learn and remember is to repeat aloud. Are you ready? Norton Sports Health, Athletics, and Learning Center. Do it on your own.
Learning complex.
Complex Center. Whatever you want, Sadiqua. We are so proud of Norton Sports Health, and we're so proud to have that name on such a wonderful place. So now it's my honor to introduce Dr. Nia Dwaney. She's an orthopedic surgeon on the Norton Sports Health team. Dr. Dwaney describes herself as a nerd who loves sports. If you've ever seen her, you know that that is not the right descriptor. She's not a nerd, but she is passionate, and I love her passion. Whether it's her passion for the patients or her passion for her profession, born from a love of sports, it makes her one of the greatest ambassadors for Norton Sports Health. And I want you to hear her story. So thank you for allowing me and Norton Healthcare to be part of something that is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Russ, and thanks everyone for having me here today. So the reason I'm here is because sports and education/learning is where I came to be. My family immigrated here to the U.S. from South Sudan. We came here as refugees and on a refugee status. And when we moved to Bloomington, Indiana, my parents were going to school. So we went to school. But we didn't have all the resources for us to do things after school. But the one thing we did have was a sports complex. You know, IU had a facility where students, kids, families can go and hang out and play sports. And so when you move to Indiana, kind of like Kentucky, and you're tall, what do they give you? A basketball. So the 5 of us, we learned how to play basketball, and we would go there after school while our parents were in school, and they graduated and got their PhDs. And the one thing that my parents would always stress is that, sports is your vehicle to your education, that you can excel in sports and you'll learn a lot of things in sports, but you always have to be educated. And the only reason that we were able to build a new life and become successful is because we came here, we educated ourselves, and we are educating you. So for me, I played basketball, and I got a Division I scholarship and played basketball at the college level. And then I also had the opportunity to join the WNBA, but I hurt my shoulder. And that's when I met my orthopedic surgeon. And he fixed my shoulder, and I was able to go back and play. And the biggest thing that sports taught me and my family is that commitment. You have to be committed to this. For us to continue and excel at this high level, we also had to have time management. We had to study. We had to take care of our schoolwork before we could play. And then teamwork. And then the biggest thing I think it taught us, and I think it teaches other athletes or athletic people, is how to lose, because life is really learning from your mistakes or your failures and then correcting those and then excelling. I mean, that's the biggest thing that sports teaches kids and other people. And so for me to go into this profession, I had a lot of failures, studying, testing, applying for schools, applying for specialties, because orthopedic surgery is one of the most competitive specialties out there. And a lot of sacrifice. Well, my friends were doing things for fun, and I was in the library. I was on the basketball court, or I was in the library. So I'm very excited that this opportunity is here on the West End, because now I'm here in Louisville. And I'm downtown, so this is my community. And I'm very excited to see other youth come here, learn, and also participate in whatever activity they choose. But for me, it's always education and health, education and sports. It's not one or the other. And so I just want to thank you all for having me here. And I'm excited to come down here and talk to some of the other youth and share my experience and also take care of them. So thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce you. You all call him Mayor Fisher. I'm going to be brief, so I just call him the $10 million man, because remember, it was the first $10 million came from the city that started this project rolling. Mayor Fisher.
Thank you, Sadiqa. How many of y'all were at the press conference about 6 weeks ago we did here? Okay. All right. So we know we got a good project, Sadiqa, when we turned a press conference 6 weeks ago into a fundraiser. And we raised about $300,000 in 10 minutes. We raised $300,000 in 10 minutes last time. Sadiqa told me not to get it going again, so I'll behave. But when you know you're coming to a press conference and you could be asked for $5,000 and you keep showing up, you know this is a good project. So I appreciate that. Russ Cox talked about a tobacco firm being on this piece of property here, and that was true. But before that, this is where the tobacco auctions took place in Louisville. So this, at one time, was the most valuable piece of property per the PVA in the entire city of Louisville. And that was about 100 years ago. And so think about kind of that cycle of going from great value to, flood came along, people moved out, and think about what's coming back. And I will predict that we will be minting gold on this property in the coming years. And by that, what I mean, not just the return that kids are going to get and adults are going to get through sports and learning and health, but I just believe that we will have future gold medal Olympians coming out of this facility. We will. You know, when you think about the legacy of the West End, Allen Houston, gold medalist, of course, 2 doors down from him. What was that guy's name? Oh, Cassius Clay. Yeah, Muhammad Ali. When he went off as a high school senior, Central High School, and came back from Rome with a gold medal. So the tradition of gold medal winners, not just on the field and on the court here in West Louisville, but in life, is deeply ingrained in our community. And West End has been knocked down sometimes, just like everywhere. But as Ali said, it doesn't matter what happened when you get knocked down. It's what happens when you get up. And this project is all about getting up. And the way the community has come behind it, and the way our prize fighter, Sadiqa Reynolds, has gone onto the ring and gotten it done is impressive. But you can't win by yourself. You need people to show up. You need people to be in the corner, your corner man. Russ, what you guys are doing, and the corner man, the trainer, all this is incredible. You know, Norton's has done so much for our community for so long, and when you put an exclamation point like this on the work they're done, and the good thing is we know they're not done as well, but they have been huge partners of the city with our Summer Works program, showing how they can take kids from JCPS. I want to recognize Marty Polio here, our great superintendent. Thank you. But they pioneered this whole workforce development concept of taking our high school youth that are interested in healthcare, bringing them into Norton's, being part of summer work. Al Cornish, thank you very much as well for that. And then helping these kids go on and go through college, get a degree, get a nursing degree, come back to Norton's and continue that pathway. They are the best in the country at that. Not many people know that. So I want to thank you, Russ, for the tremendous leadership you're doing in workforce development here as well. So there's so many reasons to celebrate here today for what this means to our city. And when you're mayor, you kind of dream about transformative projects. This is a transformative project, Jim Host. You've been part of these as well. I want to thank you for your tremendous work on this project here, the Yum Center and many more. Pretty good for a Lexington guy to come down here and help our city like this. Thank you, Jim. But I was determined, you know, my mom and dad are from the West End. And I was determined that if we could, when I was mayor, we would get investment going back in the West End. We've got about $1 billion of investment taking place in West Louisville right now, from Beecher Terrace to 18th and Broadway to everything that's going to happen around this project. And when you think about this groundbreaking again, or dedication, whatever we're calling this ceremony here today, there's going to be more when you look around the perimeter of this project here. Madison Street Warehouse over there, we intend for that to be an entrepreneurial hotspot here. We've already started the resources to make that happen. We got lots of partners from around the country as well. And Sadiqa talks about the restaurants, the hotels that are all going to be happening around here. So get a good picture of what this looks like right now, because it's going to be changing radically over the next several years. And that's all part of the dream, right? To get people moving back and forth throughout the city so they say, we're all one. We are in this together. And that's happening right here in front of our face right now. This gift today really puts this now to where this is going to happen in a very significant way. $5 million is a good chunk of change. And what that does now is other corporate partners in the community will be saying, and I know Russ will be calling them, if I'm in for 5, how much are you in for? Okay? So this is a huge leadership statement here today. The city is ready to keep running with this project. So to the entire Norton team, Russ Cox, everybody, thank you for this huge leadership step today. Sadiqa for getting us started and keeping it going until we cross that finish line. Thanks, everybody. Good job.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. $1 million man, whatever, you know, call him what you want. And next we will hear from the president of Metro Council, President James. Metro Council has been supportive of this project as well, and I think it is a big deal. It certainly is for me that we have garnered support from both Republicans and Democrats. This project has support from the CEO's office to community activists. This has really been an amazing thing to work on. I tell people all the time, I have served this community as a public defender. I was in private practice. In my private practice, I have represented thousands, unfortunately, of abused and neglected children, but never have I ever experienced the love that I have felt while working on this project. And that has been given across the board by, in a very bipartisan way and in every socioeconomic status. And so I want to thank you, and with that, I bring up Councilman President James.
Well, good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Well, good. Thank you, Sadiqa. I'm happy to be here today to represent Metro Council. We are fully invested in this project, and we want to see great things happen here, and the community wants to see great things happen here. That's obvious by how many people are here. I see all kinds of people, even people from Lexington. I see my pastors here. It's a wonderful thing. And so what I would say that this really means to the community, and I know you may not believe it, but I do hang out in barbershops sometimes. And when I'm there, every time I do, this is what the conversation is about. And it's about what it's going to do for this community. And it's about what the belief is and the hope that this provides for the people that live in our community. This is not simply a track. It's not simply a field. It's not simply an athletic facility. This is hope for people that have found themselves at times hopeless. And I want to thank Sadiqa for having the vision. Come here for a second. I want to thank Sadiqa for having this vision. Sadiqa, I've known for a long, long time. And I have to tell you, Sadiqa, publicly, I truly believe that this project, God was talking to you. And you heard it. And because of that, you are going to change the direction of West Louisville. You're going to change the direction of our city, and it's because of you. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much.
So Sadiqa's worked really hard. Russ, thank you, and I expect you to do some arm twisting.
Absolutely.
Okay. But beyond that, the Metro Council, we stand ready to assist the mayor as we go forward to make sure that this is successful, because it has to be successful. Because if it's not successful, then Louisville's not successful. And I often get asked sometimes, why do you work so hard to do things in West Louisville? Why not? That's what I say is, why not? People have worked for decades to do things against West Louisville. And today and going forward, we would work to do things for West Louisville. Thank you very much.
So the Urban League does not employ a speechwriter. I've been trying to make some notes here because this has been such an emotional process for me, as you can imagine. And sometimes that means for me that it's paralyzing and I can't actually write the words that I need to write to really articulate or communicate what I would like to communicate. So I'm going to try here today. I've made some notes. First of all, this is silly, but you would think I would remember to do this. Let me thank everyone up here who has spoken before me. Thank you so much, President James. Thank you, Mayor Fisher, so much for everything. Thank you, Doc. Wonderful, wonderful story. Russ, thank you so much for your friendship, for your commitment, and for this investment. It really is an investment, and it will change things in this community. I want to also thank the board of Norton that supported this investment. And also, if you are employed by Norton Healthcare, will you please stand? And just please, because I'm doing that because, yes, these are the folks, when I would come in for meetings and they would say, what happened? Did you get anything? Did he say, what's going on? And I would say, I don't know, but maybe you all should talk to him. Well, I'll see so-and-so in a meeting. I'm going to be with Laura. I'm going to be with Dana. I'll see Russ. And then over, a couple of weekends asking, and your employees are so proud of this investment. And I am so proud of them for working into these positions and remembering who you are, where you come from, and how much we all still need you and need your support. So I salute you all. Thank you so much. If you are an employee of the Louisville Urban League, would you please stand? And wave your hand if you're still in the back. Yeah. Thank you so much to all of the team at the Urban League. I think the mayor said it exactly right. None of us can do any of this alone, and it has been, and it continues to be because we're not done. But they suffer more than anybody. It's the staff at the Urban League. And so I just want to say thank you publicly. I love you all completely, and I know that I would not be able to do this without you and without the ability to delegate some duties so that I could focus here on this sports and learning complex. And so thank you for allowing me the space to live my dream. Thank you so much. My board chair is here, Lori Lee. Thank you for being here. Stephen Lee. Stephen Lee, her husband, is standing beside her, a member of the Guild. Also, we have the president of the Louisville Urban League Guild, Yvonne Austin, is here with us. Stand. We have board members here. Let me see. Oh, God, please don't mess up. Diane Porter is here. If you could stand, please. Also, president of the school board. John Borders is here with us. John, if you could stand. Let's see. Oh, where is everybody? I can't see everybody. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I'll see you and I'll do it. Ben Richmond, my predecessor, is here with us. 29 years of service to the Urban League. Thank you, Ben. Reverend Malone is here with us. He and his congregation have been very supportive. I see Terry Miners in the house. Thank you, sir, for being here. We have our phenomenal project manager and the entire project team led by Eric Brown. Eric, if you could stand, if Calhoun, Mathis and Sons, everybody stand. This is a great team. Look at this. This sister is what's your title? What's your title? Project engineering assistant on this job. Came through the Urban League. Steve Traeger, you gotta go? I know, oh. Who does that? This is constant. I'm just saying, Mayor, I got it, no, okay. I don't know. I'm sorry. Y'all know I got issues, right? It's coming. I'm gonna get. Work together. Yeah, it's. Woo, Lord, have my people give you $10 million. Think they just gonna say whatever while you talk? I'm talking. He talking. Steve Traeger is here. Steve Traeger is here. Audwin Helton, been so supportive. Taft. Attorney General Andy Bashir's office is here, represented by my brother J. Michael Brown, who is president in the House. The Nixons, all of them. Edie, Mary, Ted, everybody's here. Carla Deering is here. She is amazing. You see the pro forma for this thing. This woman is a rock star. Donating her time. I have to pay Jim Host. He's here too. He's $1 a year. Carla is completely free. If you all could stand up. Jim is still driving from Lexington to Louisville, and today he had a partner ride with him, his ride or die, Pat Host. Come on, stand up for me, Pat. Jay Gullock, Layla George, these folks got day jobs. They're helping us. Stand up, stand up. You all know, Layla's at the Olmsted. She's got her own fundraising challenges, and Jay is the chair of that board, but still they're finding time to help us and meeting on a regular basis. AEG is in the house. Thank you so much. Stand up, please. Eric, thank you for being here. And I saw the U of L track coach here. Where's Coach Dale? Where is he? There he is. Stand up. Stand up. All right. Everybody here is important. I want to recognize everybody, but I can't do that because the mayor's got to go, and we've got to go. I've got to go. I'm not blaming him. Everybody's got to go. You all have to go, right? You have jobs because we got to get this money in the bank. So we got to keep working, keep pushing until it's done. So let me tell you, here's where we are. I think I've said this over and over and over again, but this literally started when I heard that the food port project wasn't going to move forward. But one thing that Stephen Riley and Caroline Heine had done was empower this community in a way that I think they had not been. And people said, we want some decision making in what happens on this land. And I got a phone call from Ramona at the time, who was the president of the Food Port Council. And they asked to have a meeting at the Urban League because they wanted to tell the mayor some ideas about what community wanted. More than 100 people showed up. They broke off into groups, and you know what happened next. All of those groups were asked, name 3 things. What are the top 3 things you want on this site? And in every group's top 2 was a sports complex. We have taken it to the next level. We have answered the community's request. And that did not come, let me say, separate and apart, or maybe I should say it was separate and apart from my idea that we would have a sports complex track as the anchor sport. Honestly, I had kind of, well, I'll tell you, I got a phone call from the Courier-Journal from a reporter the night that the Food Port Project was announced not to be moving forward. And I went home, I left dinner, I was at Mussels and Burgers. I left dinner and laid on my bed and I prayed and I asked God to help give me something to help this community, to help change the community, something that people could believe in and would want to invest in and that would be financially sustainable. And when I opened my eyes, Usain Bolt was on the news. And then I called Carl Schmidt. He's here. I called Carl at 10 o'clock, the head of the Sports Commission. He answered the phone. Yes, thank you. Clap for Carl. And he said he wasn't familiar with the site, but he would check it out. And within 48 hours, he called me back and said, you may be onto something. But separately, the community used the Urban League facility to have a conversation about what it was that the community wanted. But I'm going to say what I need to say. But the long and the short of it is that we are here now. We are here with the blessings of this community. We are here with the blessings of the Metro Council, of the mayor's office. We are here with the blessings, I say, first God, because really when you're praying and you get an answer, you just do. I don't know your religious or beliefs, but I certainly am fully aware and comfortable with mine. And it was God that gave me the vision and then also had the community co-sign that vision. And we have raised a tremendous amount of money in about 15 months. More than I even want to talk about. But I want to tell you where we are right now. We are $15 million away from done. And that may seem big to you. That seems like nothing to me compared to what we have done and what we had when we started. All we had was this idea, this vision, this drive. But to be here in this space right now and have this company say, not only do we believe in the West End, but we are going to put our money where our mouth is. We are going to invest. We are going to put our name on this complex. This is a big deal. This is the biggest deal of my entire life. And I hope that you all understand and can process how significant it is to have this kind of investment in this part of our community. Finally, someone saying, we understand what you want, we hear you, and we are going to respond to your needs. So often what happens is people say, we know best, and we have the resources, so we will tell you what you need. But today, what we have seen, not just today, but every day with this project, are people who say, we believe in you. We believe in your leadership. We believe in your work ethic. We believe that you are responding to the needs of this community, and we are going to help you. And Norton Health is doing just that. And so this naming of this facility, I have to read it. If you just think about this, Norton Sports Health, that's the name of the company, Norton Sports Health. Athletics and Learning Complex, that's our part, you get it? Norton Sports Health, Athletics and Learning Complex. And let us never forget the learning part of this. Let's never forget that. This is important. And I say track is a great carrot. I ran track, and I was a kid who missed 29 days of school in the 2nd grade, and by the time I was running track, had perfect attendance. It does change things. But the other thing that's important is, and I'm so glad the media is here, it matters what stories you tell about this community. We need to see people getting medals around their neck. It matters. It matters. It matters how we are framed. This is a step in the right direction. It is a big step. These are 24 acres that are Black owned. And let me just explain something to you all. I gotta say, like, this is a big deal. When you look at the redlining reports, and Russ Cox, thank you for saying what you said about redlining. When you look at those reports and you read them, you take 2 areas of a community that look similar, but one with a high Negro population. So there aren't loans, there aren't investments in the same way. That's just responsive to that. And the Negroes that are mentioned in those documents are the people who will own this land. It matters. It matters. It matters. That is not to be minimized. So my spirit is full of the potential for what we can be. And that is why I'm not overwhelmed by what comes next. I know I have more work to do. I'm working 2 full-time jobs, but we can do it because I have an amazing team, because I live in an amazing community where really, really people are compassionate. And let me be clear. If there is a company doing business in this city that is not willing to invest in this project, oh, baby. Let me explain. Just like God gave me a vision, you too will have visions. Everybody needs to be in this. Everybody needs to be running with us. This is how you respond to the pain of the past. This is how you fix those things that are broken in a community. This is how you rebuild and revitalize a community. So thank you to everyone who has helped us, including the James Graham Brown Foundation that I see is in the back. Thank you all so much for everything, for being here, for supporting me, for supporting the league, and most of all, for supporting the West End. This community, this city, these people, they deserve. We couldn't do enough. We couldn't do enough. But today is a hell of a start. Thank you so much.